Well, good morning, everyone. How are you? What's happening today? It's an amazing day. Actually, it's a day that it looks like fall is setting into California, which is very odd. We don't usually have fall this early in our season, but it's happening. So I'll take it because it's better than 115 degrees like we were having there for a while. My name is Julieann Hartman. Just in case this is the first time you've ever watched a healing journey today, a teaching. So we've got live teaching 7 days a week. We've got so many other special shows that we do as well. One of them being that on Fridays, usually we have a guest teacher come in that's not part of the group, but this month, for the month of September, my daughter Sophia, who is just amazing, so gifted, so anointed in everything that she does. She also runs this channel, but she is doing leading worship every Friday morning. So make sure that you get on that, because that is really a special, special time. And I think that you would really enjoy everything that she's showing, that she's singing. And, it's like how the Lord is speaking to you through that. It's just, anyway, she's just awesome. And I just really love it. And she really makes you enter into the presence right away. So that's always great, especially, we like to have that every day, right? I'd love if that was something we could do every day, is to have a worship team come in and usher us into the presence of the Lord first thing when we wake up. So anyway, that's 9 a.m. on Friday mornings for this month only. And then on Saturday, we have a show called The Journey, which is a show that I do where we dig in real deep into people's testimonies. And the one that we have going on right now is with Tina Conkin, who wrote a book that how the other woman, oh my gosh. Oh gosh, I can't remember the full title of the book. Oh, anyway, it's amazing. Okay, so I don't have my notes here. I didn't even think about bringing my notes. I'm so sorry, but just go to how God used the other woman. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Yes, how God used the other woman. What a crazy title, but man, what a crazy story. And we don't even really get into the story till like week 3, because there were so many other things that we talked about that you really need to hear that led up to it. So I think you're going to really get a lot out of that. But the journey is going to be interrupted by a Q&A, which takes place this Saturday. Yes, this Saturday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. There will be a Q&A for Healing Journeys today, where you've got all of us teachers on at one time answering questions for you. So if you have a question, please get it to us or tell us as we do our Q&A. We are taking questions about that online. We will do whatever we can to get your question answered. We love you so much, and we're so thankful that you guys have been a part of our journey with Healing Journeys today for the last 2.5 years, because it's been quite a journey. It's been amazing. And I'm just so thankful for all of you. I'm so really thankful for all of our teachers who dedicate their time every single day, each teacher, each different day, every single week, to bring you a fresh new word from the Lord, which is just awesome. So faith comes by hearing, and we just keep hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing, and your faith grows. Excuse me, it can't not grow. Your faith grows. And so coming on this platform and listening, and it's like you don't have to listen to it all live. You can do it. A lot of the, once it's live, then it's archived, and then you can watch anytime. That's the beauty of streaming platforms the way they are now. So anyway, it's amazing, and we're so blessed to have all of our teachers, and I'm so blessed to have you here listening. And so, okay, now I need some water, and I don't have any here. This is crazy. Anyway, I'll figure it out. The reason why I put the title of What Did Jesus Say is because we are so quick to try to find a formula, something that Jesus said or that Jesus did that's going to make us feel like this is all we have to do, right? We get into this really bad habit of thinking that there is a formula. And I got news for you. There really is not a formula. Well, there is a formula. And you want to know what the formula is? Do you want to know what the password is? It's JESUS. There's no other name. There's no other formula. There's no other protocol. There's no other therapy. There's nothing else that could ever take the place of Jesus. Not even your own understanding. Remember, Proverbs 3:5 says, don't lean on your own understanding. That's where you get into trouble. That's where all this stuff starts to come up. And it's like, it's just too much. And it becomes so overwhelming when we're leaning on what we know, what we believe. And let me tell you something. A lot of that understanding that we're doing is coming out of filters on the eyes or filters in the heart of victimization, of offense, of whatever it is, whatever has happened in your life. We view things, even the word of God, believe it or not, we view it through the lens of what has hurt us, or we view it through the lens of fear. We view it through the lens of being traumatized, of being hurt. All of these things are being viewed by the lens of fear. So if you think about it, if my lens is right here, my glasses, right? I'll just say this because I wish I had a pair of glasses sitting here. I don't. But if I have, I don't even wear sunglasses, but if I did, there was a time when I did wear sunglasses, and it's like there's sunglasses. I think they're the polarized ones that make everything look like neon green, like the grass and the trees look amazing. Well, what if you were looking through the lens of like I said, of trauma, fear, unforgiveness, of doubt, of sadness, of hurt, of disappointment, of of abuse, of addiction, all those things. And you're looking at the word of God through those lenses. Well, what is the problem? What would the problem be when you do that? Well, then you're not hearing the truth. Believe it or not, you're not hearing the truth, because the truth is not able to penetrate in your heart and to literally stop all the nonsense that's going on in your life, and literally stop it. And I mean stop. The name of Jesus alone is enough to stop all of this. But where does Jesus lie with us? Where is he? Is he on top? Is he second? Is he third? Is he eighth? Right? That's what you have to really come to terms with and say, okay, where is Jesus in all of this? Where do I place him? Is my schedule so tight that I don't have any time to allow the Lord to be first, that my busyness comes here? Jesus is here. My busyness, my relationships, my kids, my husband, my sports, my working out, all these things get layered on top of Jesus. So when that happens, then he definitely is not first on your list. But let me tell you something. If you want any relationship to work in your life, any relationship, you have to have Jesus as Lord. He cannot be second. He's got to be Lord. So you may have to remind yourself. You may have to take yourself and shake yourself and say, Julieann, Jesus is not Lord right now. Something else is Lord. What can you do to see that? And I want you to listen to me through ears that is going to speak through, that's speaking to you, so that you can look at your own situation and say, why are things not changing? It's funny that we had a young lady come to our church on Sunday, and excuse me. And she was the sweetest girl, just beautiful. This girl is so, oh my gosh, she's so sweet. But anyway, she is, so her, she knows the truth. And she said she came here with knowing the truth and then got off track a little bit because this, being in this town, coming to LA can, kind of change your perspective on things, can kind of sway your attention over here on other things. And so it's very easy to happen. Very easy that can happen. What do we do with that? Well, so here's the thing. So now she's like, oh, I'm good now. It took me a little bit of time. But I'm just saying to you today that how much time do you want it to take? Because that it really is up to you. It's up to me. I'm not just saying this to say it or to say you. No, I am telling you this because this is what we have to do. We are so quick to say that, well, God, you have to move in my life. You have not moved. You're saying, God, you don't work. You've not moved. When really, it's on you to move. You have to be the one who moves. Do you get that? Like literally, let that sink in. That's a Selah moment. It's you that has to. You understand? You have to be the one who moves on the word. You have to take a step when he says that you've been not given the spirit of fear, but you are given power, love, and a sound mind. And the things that you're afraid to do, you are stepping out. You're never going to know that if it's conquered, if you never step out. That's with anything. And sickness and disease is something that screams at you to tell you that you can't make it. You can't do it. But why is it that we let the symptoms scream at us, but we don't let this scream at us? Isn't that crazy? But it's crazy, but it's got to change today. And I mean that. It has to change today in all of our lives. I am not sitting here saying, well, everybody, I have figured it all out. I know everything. No way. If I did feel that way, I need to get off this platform, shut the whole thing down, because that would be horrible. That would be not God at all. We are all learning. We are all learning. As Andrew Wommack says, we've left, but none of us have arrived. My mom's in heaven now. She arrived. I'm not there yet, but I'm just following that what the Lord has told me to do in this life. And I am examining my own heart to see the things that are stopping me from experiencing all that Jesus did here for me and on the cross and after the cross. I'm here now to allow him to give me the tools that I need to show me who I am, so that I am an overcomer, that I have conquered it all. I am more than a conqueror, that I do win. But as long as I look through my life or life through the lens of a victim, that's all. I mean, that's the person that says anything bad that will happen to me. That is a person who says that every time I try to do this, something else comes up. That's like the guy at the pool of Bethesda, and we're going to talk about that as well. So what I want to do is I want to go into every time that Jesus healed. So the first one the first healing that took place was right after the water turning into wine. So now we're at John 4:46. And it says, once more he visited Cana in Galilee, where he had turned the water into wine. And there was a certain royal officer whose son lay sick at Capernaum. When this man heard that Jesus had arrived in Galilee from Judea, he went to him and begged him to come and heal his son, who was close to death. Okay, so we know people that, listen, I get text messages all the time. These are people that are close to death. And Jesus says, unless you people see signs and wonders, you will never believe. Hold it right there. That's why we titled this, What Did Jesus Say? Unless you people see signs and wonders, you'll never believe. Holy cow. The royal officer said, sir, come down before my child dies. Go, Jesus replied, your son will live. Okay, so that is the first account of healing that took place. He says, I'm going to go there in my Bible too, just so you can see it in red. John 4. I hope you're there in John 4. Okay. Here we are. Okay, this is the same thing I'm reading. Okay, when he heard that Jesus, all right, so there was a certain nobleman whose son was sick at Capernaum. When he heard that Jesus had come out of Judea into Galilee, he went to him and implored him to come down and heal his son, for he was at the point of death. Then Jesus said to him, unless you people see signs and wonders, you will by no means believe. The nobleman said to him, Sir, come down before my child dies. He is demanding Jesus to come. Jesus said to him, Go your way, your son lives. So the man believed the word that Jesus spoke to him, and he went his way. And as he was going down, his servants met him and told him, saying, Your son lives. Then he inquired of them the hour when he got better. And they said to him, Yesterday at the 7th hour, the fever left him. So the father knew that it was at the same hour in which Jesus said to him, Your son lives. And he himself believed, and his whole household. This again is the second sign Jesus did when he had come out of Judea into Galilee. So all he said to him when he said, my son is sick, and I'm imploring you to come down and heal my son who is at the point of death. And Jesus, what he said, now listen, he didn't say, oh, sweet man, come into my bosom. I'm so sorry that this happened to your son. Let me tell you about this protocol. Let me tell you about this therapy that might bring him back to life. Let me tell you, do you have any sickness? I mean, any unforgiveness in your heart? Did you lie to somebody today? Did you cheat on your wife? Did you do like all these things? No, what he said was, listen to this, guys. Unless you people see signs and wonders, you will by no means believe. So go your way. Your son lives. Here is a sign and a wonder. He said, go your way. So as he went, he said, go your way. Your son lives. And his son lived. And he said, so the man believed the word that Jesus spoke to him. We have read all over, like red, the color red, all over this Bible. Yet we are still seeking signs. We are still seeking that sign to say that, yes, okay, that sign just showed me that I'm healed. That wonder just showed me that I'm healed. You know, showing you that your physical body is healed is not showing you that you're healed. Your physical body being healed of something is not the only sign that tells you that you've been healed. That is the second sign. Ooh, I like that. I'm writing that down. The second sign to healing is that body part changing, that fever leaving, right? You got to hear me when I say that. I'm writing this down because that was a live, living rhema, you want to call it, word from the Lord, revelation from the Lord. The second sign for healing is the sickness leaving, is the bone going back, is the cancer falling off. That's the second sign of healing. The first sign is the word is what heals you. So I'm just telling you that was awesome. I hope you all got that revelation because that was good. Okay, let's go down. Go down to John 5:1. And this is the man at the pool of Bethesda that I was referring to. So it says, sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Now there was in Jerusalem near the sheep gate a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here, a great number of disabled people used to lie: the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I am trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me." Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk." At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. Wow, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Are you the one that sometimes says, well, every time this could happen, something bad happens. Every time I get to this point, something bad comes and completely destroys what the good thing was. See, that's the same thing that the man at the pool, but let's just call him. What can we call him? We'll call him Joe, all right? Joe Bethesda, we'll call him. See, Joe Bethesda, that's all he was doing, was making excuses and saying why he was not healed, why he could not pick up his mat and walk, because everybody else is stealing that time from me. Everybody else is getting in the water first. Every time the angel comes and stirs up the water, I can't get in because somebody else gets in before me. Do you see what is happening? Seriously, do you see what's happening? These are excuses, and to some it's valid, but to Jesus, it's not valid. It's not valid, because all he says to him is, whoops, I didn't go there. Oh yeah, here it is. He says, "Do you want to be made well?" The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. But while I'm coming, another one steps down before me." Jesus said to him, "Rise, take up your bed, and walk." And immediately the man was made well, took up his bed and walked. And that day was the Sabbath. Now, you know that was the problem in the city when it was the day, which is the Sabbath, and Jesus now just healed somebody. Oh no. Oh no. You can't do that. Well, guess what? Jesus did. And you, as a child of the Most High God, you're going to do things that Jesus just did. And you're not going to care about who it hurts or what it does to anybody, because you're doing what the Lord has told you to do. His Father, he says, "I only do and say as my Father instructs me." His Father told him to go to Bethesda, to go to that pool. His Father told him to do that. His Father knew it was the Sabbath, but his Father was trying to break all this religious stuff off of everyone. Man, that's awesome. And what I love is this too. But the one who was healed, Joe Bethesda, but the one who was healed did not know did not know who it was, for Jesus had withdrawn, a multitude being in that place. Afterward, Jesus found him in the temple and said to him, "See, you have been made well. Sin no more, lest a worst thing come upon you." If you keep doubting and you keep allowing everybody else to step in that pool, let all the distractions come and keep you from getting in that pool, a worse thing could happen. That's what he's saying. If you're going to keep doing this, a worse thing will come upon you. The man departed and told the Jews that it was Jesus who made him well. At that point, he's like, "Oh, that guy, the guy that told me to rise up, take up my bed and walk. Oh, by the way, his name is Jesus." Isn't that great? That is awesome. So that's healing number 2. All right, let's go to John 9. You guys like this? Hey, what I love is that this is what Jesus is saying. This is not what I'm saying. This is not even what you're saying. So if you're not going to listen to Jesus, why the heck would you listen to me? I wouldn't. Okay. John 9. Now, as Jesus passed by, he saw a man who was blind from birth. His disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Neither this man nor his parents sinned, said Jesus, but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. So we're going to read that a little differently because I think this, I don't know what translation that is. Jesus says in New King James, neither this man nor his parents sinned, but that the works of God should be revealed in him. I must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. The night is coming when no one can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Okay, let's go back. Now, as Jesus passed by, he saw a man who was blind from birth, and his disciples asked him, saying, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, neither this man nor his parents sinned, but that the works of God should be revealed in him. Why is that? Because the works of God are the healing. I know a lot of people have taken the scripture and have said, oh, God made this boy blind. No, he did not. He said, God will be glorified in this when he is healed. And that's what Jesus did. He healed him. So he says, I must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. The night is coming when no one can work. As long as I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had said these things, he spat on the ground and made clay with the saliva, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay. And he said to him, go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is translated sent. So he went and washed and came back seeing. Now, what do you think about that? He never even said, eyes be healed. You know what he told him to do? Go wash in the pool of Siloam or Siloam. That's all he did. Go wash in the pool of Siloam. Before that, he said, as long as I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. I mean, come on, guys. Like, look at this. This is pretty amazing. There's no prayer here. And I know that we love saying our long, boring prayers. It's almost like Jesus is going, come on, get through this prayer. Let's get to the healing part. Because we're so poetic in our prayers. And we're so word-giving in our prayers, like where we use lots of words. But Jesus is like, come on, let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. Oh, yeah. And by his stripes, you're healed. Think about it. We're putting on too much stuff. We got to be careful of that because it's even surprising Jesus on some of the things that people are saying instead of just, oh, hey, go wash in the pool of Siloam or of Siloam. Take up your bed, rise up, take up your bed and walk. Really? That's pretty cool to me. Okay, so now we're at 11. Now, a certain man was sick, Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary who anointed the Lord with fragrant oil and wiped his feet and her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore, the sisters sent to him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom you love is sick. When Jesus heard that, he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it. Again, this is not God doing this, but God will be glorified when he's raised from the dead. Now, Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. And so when he heard that he was sick, he stayed 2 more days in the place where he was. Then after this, he said to his disciples, let us go to Judea again. The disciples said to him, Rabbi, lately the Jews sought to stone you, and you're going there again? Jesus answered, are there not 12 hours in the day? If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But if one walks in the night, he stumbles because the light is not in him. These things he said, and after that, he said to them, our friend Lazarus sleeps, but I go that I might wake him up. Then his disciples said, Lord, if he sleeps, he will get well. However, Jesus spoke of his death, but they thought that he was speaking about taking rest in sleep. Then Jesus said to them plainly, Lazarus is dead. And I'm glad for your sakes that it was not, And I'm glad for your sakes that I was not there, that you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go to him. Then Thomas, who was called the twin, said to his fellow disciples, let us also go that we may die with him. So when Jesus came, he found that he had already been in the tomb 4 days. Now, what's interesting about this is the minute that he heard the news about Lazarus, he did not just jump up and say, oh my God, I've got to go to him. No, he did not. So when Jesus came, he found that he had already been in the tomb 4 days. Now, Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles away, and many of the Jews had joined the women around Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him, but Mary was sitting in the house. Now Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now, I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection of the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? She said to him, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who has come into the world. And then when she had said these things, she went her way and secretly called Mary, her sister, saying, the teacher has come and he's calling for you. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came to him. Now, Jesus had not yet come into the town, but was in the place where Martha met him. Okay, then the Jews were there in the house and comforting her. When they saw that Mary rose up quickly and went out, followed her, saying, she is going to the tomb to weep there. Then when Mary came where Jesus was and saw him, she fell down at his feet. See, if they knew that she was going to have to meet Jesus, they would have been really mad. She's going to the tomb to weep there. Then when Mary came where Jesus was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying to him, Lord, if you had been here, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Therefore, when Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who came with her weeping, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled and said, where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. Then the Jews said, see how he loved him. And some of them said, could not this man who opened the eyes of the blind also have kept this man from dying? Then Jesus, again, groaning in himself, came to the tomb. It was a cave. A stone lay against it. Jesus said, take away the stone. Martha, the sister of him who was dead, said to him, Lord, by this time there is a stench, for he has been dead 4 days. Jesus said to her, did I not say to you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead man was laying, and Jesus lifted up his eyes. Father, I thank you that you have heard me, and I know that you always hear me. But because of the people who are standing by, I said this, that they may believe that you sent me. Now, when he had said these things, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he who had died came out, bound hand and foot with grave clothes. His face was wrapped with a cloth. Jesus said to them, loose him and let him go. Wow, wow, wow. That is awesome. That's all we're going to do for now, because I just gave you 3 things that just happened. First was the centurion, or the royal official, if you will, whose son was sick, was healed. Then we go to the pool of Bethesda, and that person was healed. And then we go to the blind man, and that person was healed. And then we go to Lazarus, who was raised from the dead. Boy, all in a day's work, right? Go back, not just listen to me, go back and find these scriptures and read for yourself. What did he say? He said in the first one, I'm going to recap, unless you people see signs and wonders, you'll never believe. The royal officer said, sir, come down before my child dies. He says, go. Jesus replied, your son will live. That was number 1. Number 2, get up, pick up. Well, first he says, Do you want to get well? Excuse me. Do you want to get well? And then the guy in Job Bethesda says his whole speech about, hey, every time somebody tries to, every time I try to get in, every time the angels stir the water, I try to get in and someone else beats me, right? And he says, get up, pick up your mat and walk, pick up your bed and walk. That's the third one. And then we go into Lazarus. Lazarus. All he said to Lazarus was rise. Pretty amazing, huh? He said, let's see, by this time, Jesus said to him, right. He says, well, she says, I love this. Then Jesus said to her, when Martha was like, but Lord, by this time there's a bad odor. He's been there for days. He's never going to raise up. And then Jesus said, did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, Father, I thank you that you've heard me. He didn't even say, rise up, get back in your body, do this, do that. No, he said, Father, I thank you that you've heard me. I know that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me. He only said it for the benefit of the people that were standing there. Jesus said to them, take off the grave clothes and let him go. Oh, that just is awesome. We're going to continue from there next week and talking about this. But we have to look at what happened with all the accounts of healing in the Bible, right? So that we don't think that we need to do something different. There is no different. There is no different. There's what did Jesus do? Why are we trying to do other things? Why are we trying to say these 20-minute prayers? When he said, take off his grave clothes, let him go. That just makes me so happy. So Q&A on Saturday. Don't forget. Tina Conkin. I'm sorry. The Q&A was on Saturday. Tina Conkin is on Saturdays. We're taking a little bit of a break this week, and we'll pick it up again next week for her testimony, how God used the other woman. Amazing book. And then we've got worship on Friday at 9 a.m. with my beautiful daughter, Sophia. And then, of course, we have the conference, the amazing Jacksonville conference. Why are we going to Jacksonville? I don't know. God said, Jacksonville, we're going. So I'll meet you there. Just go. We're at another level with healing. Just go. I think you're going to be very happy with the outcome. So go to healingjourneystoday.com and sign up. Make sure that you do, because once we hit 150 seats, we're done. There's no more that can go in that building. So you need to make sure that you RSVP on the Eventbrite, which is on our website, and it's also on our, I think on Facebook as well, and Instagram. All right. I love you all. I will see you next week. And do not lean on your own understanding when you have the filter on of anything but Jesus. You will not like your outcome. You will be very disappointed, and then you'll blame it on God. And we don't blame anything on God. We have to look to self before we look into God to tell us why something didn't work in the natural. So anyway, no more teaching. I love you all. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow night. Have a wonderful day. And I want you to know that Jesus loves you. Loves you, loves you, loves you, loves you. Do not forget that. And he sees you healed. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.